The Croatian Air Force and Air Defense is a branch of the Croatian Armed Forces. Aviation history. The Croatian Air Force as it is known today was established on the 12th of December 1991, during the Croatian War of Independence. After 2003, a large portion of the fleet was modernized, completely overhauled, and the rest of the outdated fleet was retired. Croatia also acquired new-built transport helicopters, firefighting aircraft and basic training aircraft. During this time, the planned acquisitions for additional fixed and rotary wing transports and fighter aircraft were, after repeated postponements, cancelled due to a difficult economic situation. Duties. The primary role of the Croatian Air Force and Air Defense is securing the sovereignty of Croatian airspace and providing air support to other services during joint operations. It operates the integrated Croatian air defense system. Other tasks include providing help in natural, humanitarian and technological disasters, search and rescue operations, and support to other government agencies. Commanders of the Croatian Air Force since its establishment in 1991. Imre Gotic, Josip Kuletic, Josip Stimac, Viktor Koprivniak, Vlado Bagric, Drazen Skiri, Miroslav Kovac. Structure. Air Force and Air Defense Command Company, Pliso, Zagreb. 91st Air Force Base, Pliso, Franjo Tudman Airport Command Company, 21st Fighter Squadron, MiG-21 BISD, UMD 27th Transport Aircraft Squadron and 32B, 28th Multi-Role Helicopter Squadron at Zagreb Luko Airfield, Mi-171SH, Aviation Technical Squadron 93rd Air Force Base, Zemunik, Zadar Airport Command Company Aircraft Training Squadron, PC-9M, Zlin 242L, Aviation Technical Squadron Airspace Surveillance and Control Battalion, Pliso, Zagreb Airspace Surveillance Center Podvornica, Operational Center Splitslami, Orinci, Papuka and Rota Radar Posts, Radio Technical Maintenance and Support Company Air Force Training Center, Rudolf Perezan, Zemunik, Zadar Airport. Status. The core of the Air Force is a squadron of 12 modernized MiG-21 BISD UMD fighters. In 2003, a minor upgrade and an extensive overhaul were performed in Romania, incorporating navigation and communication elements of the Lancer standard to make them interoperable with NATO air forces. The aircraft received no upgrade to the weapons systems, despite initial plans to replace the MiG-21 fleet with a multi-role aircraft in 2013 and an official tender having been issued in 2008. Ongoing budgetary constraints have resulted in an abandonment of these plans. As a cost-saving measure, a decision was made to again overhaul 7 serviceable airframes already in service and supplement them with 5 additional airframes from Ukrospets Export. This temporary measure will see the fleet remain in service only until 2019-2020. Pilot training is conducted on 2 types of aircraft. During late 2007, 5 new Zlin 242L aerobatic basic trainers were acquired in order to replace a fleet of 7 old UTVA 75s. The deal was worth just under $2 million. An option for 3 additional basic trainers was considered but has not been exercised. The backbone of the training fleet, however, is built around 20 Pilatus PC-9M advanced trainers, which also constitute the most numerous type of aircraft in Croatian service. These were ordered in 1997 and entered full service a year later. The deal was worth around $100 million. They are also operated by the national aerobatic team called Krila Olulia, Wings of Storm. The fleet size and facilities at Zemunik Air Base allow the Croatian Air Force to offer advanced pilot training to other countries, but the lack of HUDs, HOTAS and hard points on Croatia's PC-9 megaseconds, however, limits the usefulness of Croatia's advanced training program. Such upgrades might be financially plausible once surplus PC-9 megaseconds get sold. Nonetheless, on March 5, 2014, representatives of the Croatian Air Force signed an agreement with the partners from the Royal Air Force of Oman for the future training and education of 16 Omani pilots on the Croatian fleet of Pilatus PC-9 MIS. The training itself started on March 10, is planned to be concluded by December 26, 2014 and will see each pilot log 150 flight hours during the 10-month period. As a cost-saving measure, the Croatian government has announced in its long-term defense plan that it plans to downsize the PC-9M fleet to a suitable level for the current Air Force fleet, substantially reduced since the mid-1990s. Consequently, 6 oldest units are offered for sale while the 14 remaining aircraft are due to remain active and possibly undergo an upgrade. The Croatian Air Force operated 2 Antonov and 32B tactical transports until 2013. Both aircraft underwent a two-stage modernization in 2004 and 2007. They were fitted with NATO standard navigational and communication equipment, additional systems for loading, unloading and flare dispensers. They had performed humanitarian and paratrooper missions as well as supporting Croatia's international military commitments such as for ISAF and KFOR. Due to budget limitations, both aircraft have been offered for sale. In the draft of the Strategic Defense Review, the Croatian government announced that no new tactical transport aircraft would be purchased before 2020, leaving Croatia reliant on its NATO partners for fixed-wing transport. The helicopter fleet is equipped mainly with Russian-built Mi-17s and its derivatives. The fleet includes 3 Mi-8 and 11 Mi-8 MTV-1 cargo helicopters, which underwent overhauls between 2003 and 2005. A batch of 6 Mi-8 MTV-1 underwent an overhaul again in 2013 and 2014, while the remaining 8 units are to follow in 2014 and 2015. The Croatian Ministry of Defense is considering the option of selling all Mi-8 helicopters upon overhaul and replacing them with up to 15 UH-60L after 2017. In 2006, a deal to deliver 10 new Mi-171sh transport attack helicopters was signed with Russia, itself a partial payment for an old Russian debt. The order itself was worth $66 million. The new type differs from the ones already in service in having a cargo ramp instead of clamshell doors, larger side doors, flare dispensers, additional armor around the cockpit and cargo compartment, night vision device equipment, door gunner posts, rocket launches, etc. The entire squadron of 10 helicopters entered service by July 2008. 2 additional VIP helicopters were planned for 2009, but their acquisition was cancelled. After more than 10 years in the Croatian service and great success in Operation Storm, the government finally decided to retire a squadron of 7 Mi-24 volts helicopters in 2005 due to a costly modernization. 6 are offered for sale at a price of $83,000 per other aircraft, while one was sent to a museum. The role of an armed support helicopter was taken over by new Mi-171s, but the entire attack helicopter squadron is to be revived in 2015 with the acquisition of up to 16 OH-58D. While visiting Israel in November 2006, Croatian delegation agreed to buy two mid-size, state-of-the-art Hermes 450 and 4 small Skylark UAVs. Additional cameras, computer systems, spare parts and a ground station were also obtained. Two additional Skylark UAVs entered service in 2009. As of December 2012, additional Skylarks has been reported in service, though no public records or images of Croatian Hermes 450 are available. This suggests that the order was cancelled due to funding issues. After a horrible fire season during the summer of 2007, Croatia agreed to buy two new Canadair CL-415 and 5 air tractor at 800 and 2 water bombers. These joined a fleet of 4 relatively new amphibians already in service. The entire deal was projected at $70 million. By making such an acquisition, Croatia became the leading power in aerial firefighting on the Mediterranean in respect to its population and surface. MiG-21 replacement acquisition. Although the MiG-21 was perceived as an outdated fighter by the Croatian Air Force even in the late 1990s, budget constraints have been continuously deferring any final decision on the acquisition of a new fighter type. As Croatia was no longer facing any military threat, serious talks were started with Israeli firms to extensively upgrade the fleet of 24 MiG-21 bis fighters to a Lancer III standard instead of buying a completely new combat aircraft. Although the initial information suggested that such a decision was practically final, no agreement was reached. By late 2002, all 24 MiG-21s were reaching the end of the service lives, and it was decided that the fleet be overhauled and lightly upgraded in Romania. A first squadron of 12 aircraft was therefore sent for 10-year life prolongment repair to Aerostar, after which the second squadron was to follow. But after the first squadron arrived to Croatia, no further moves were made in order to revamp the second squadron. As the fleet of 12 overhauled MiG-21s was originally planned to remain active only until late 2011, Croatia was eyeing a replacement aircraft already by late 2008. It was projected that a new type be selected by late 2009 and that the first aircraft start entering service by 2011. Such plans were put into question by the global economic crisis, which severely affected the Croatian economy, and in late 2010 it was officially unveiled that no new aircraft were envisaged to enter service. The Defense Ministry finally announced in June 2013 that the Ukrainian firm Ukrspace will provide Croatia with 8 single-seat and 4 twin-seat, upgraded MiG-21 aircraft. Due to the condition, only 7 of these will be refurbished Croatian airframes and the remaining 5 will be new aircraft. These are to remain in service by 2020, and the decision on the replacement fighter type is to be made by the end of 2016. Modernization and procurement programs. Acquisition of up to 16 OH-58D Kiowa Warrior Scout attack helicopters from U.S. Army stock, to be delivered in 2016. Overhaul of the existing fleet of 14 Mi-17 transport helicopters during 2013 to 2015. Initial 6 helicopters have been overhauled by 2014 for $81 million Croatian kuna, and the remaining 8 are to follow. Cost of program $200 million Croatian kuna. However, Defense Minister Ante Kotromanovic is holding talks with the U.S. on the possibility of purchasing 15 used UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters. These would replace older Mi-17 helicopters currently in service but scheduled to undergo overhaul in 2015, cost of which is uncertain due to difficulties in acquiring spare parts and dependence on Russia's willingness to overhaul or supply spare parts, thus undermining Croatia's own national interests and security. If Black Hawks are purchased, Croatia would sell its older Mi-17 helicopters to third parties for roughly $5 million per unit. Modernization of the combat aircraft fleet. It was decided to overhaul the fleet of MiG-21 and purchase additional aircraft as an interim solution till 2019-2020 when a new fighter will be purchased. Cost of program $105 million Croatian kuna. Plans to purchase at least one SAM battery with a range that exceeds 10 kilometers. Most likely candidates are Croatia second-hand systems from a number of NATO allies. Cost of program unknown, although there are plans to move entire air defense segment of the Air Force to Land Forces component of Croatian armed forces, thus reducing the number of service personnel in the Air Force. Integration of an FPS-117 radar network into NATO radar network consisting of 5 radar stations across Croatia. 50 million kuna. Aircraft. Current inventory aircraft that have been retired. 2 Soko G2 Galeb, retired in 1996 due to the lack of spare parts. 1 Soko J21 Jastreb, retired in 1996 due to the lack of spare parts. 1 Soko J20 Kraguj, retired due to overall obsolescence in 1996. 1 Lola UTVA-60, retired in 90s. 4 Lola UTVA-66, retired in 90s. 11 Lola UTVA-75 put out of service recently, replaced by Zlin 242L. 3 Canadair CL-215 Scooper, last retired in 2004, replaced by Canadair CL-415 Super Scooper. 2 Air Tractor at 400, retired in 1993. 1 Dornier 28, retired in 2004. 1 Dassault Falcon 10, replaced by Bombardier Challenger 600. 11 Antonov and 2-handed Dover to Aero clubs throughout the years, some can be called into service. 4 Cessna 172, retired in 1997. 2 Cessna A188B Wagon, retired in 1992. 1 Cessna T210N Centurion, retired in 2004. 4 Piper PA-18 Super Cub, retired in 1996. 2 Piper PA-25-235 Brave, retired in 1992. 3 Piper PA-28 Warrior, retired in 1997. 1 Piper PA-31P, retired in 2005. 2 Piper PA-36 Borny Brave, retired in 1992. 2 PZLM-18 Dromeda, retired in 1992. 9mm 24D V, withdrawn in 2002 and 2005. 6 up for sale. 7mm 8TS, used for spares. 3 Augusta Bell 212 transferred to the Croatian police. 4 MD helicopters MD 500 last retired in 2001, replaced by Bell 206. 1 Augusta Bell AB